And welcome back, everyone. Here we are again on Total War Rome 2, and we are in the city of Carthage. And we have got ourselves a 3 versus 3 in-house game. Now, sometimes I get asked, what do you mean in-house? Like, what does that mean? So, if you guys don't know, I have a Discord called the Dragon Core. It is linked in the description. When we talk about in-house games, it talks about people in the Discord, in the voice chats, playing the game together. When we talk about quote-unquote randoms, it means that, like, we're in a lobby of people that we don't know. We're not in a voice chat with them. You know what I mean? We're basically all by ourselves. But like I said, this is a 3 versus 3 in-house fight. And not only an in-house fight, but we also have multiple members involved in this fight. Let's go ahead and get started with the defenders. First of all, we have got Sparta, being commanded by Royal Athenian, or as we call him, Scotty. He is one of my members. Like I said, he's playing Sparta here. He's one of my longtime members. Actually, all 3 of the members that are in this one are longtime members. We have Athens right next to him, being commanded by none other than moi. And finally, outside the walls of Carthage, we have got Colchis, being commanded by another longtime member. His name is Dairy Farmer. You've heard his name. You know him. Here he is. For the attackers, we have got Swaby, being commanded by Eisen. We've got Nabatea, being commanded by Billy Blazes. And then the final member in this contest, we've got Macedon, being commanded by Axe Minister. So as you can see, what we have done, we have pulled our troops out onto this, piece of land right outside the main gate of the city, basically trying to deny the attackers the ability to push over against this wall here. Basically, what we want them to do, we want them to have to go full frontal assault down this area here, which is pretty standard, but usually what you'll see is you'll see a frontal assault here with a kind of late game push onto the flanking wall. But we're trying to stop them from doing that. We've got a bunch of our slingers out. We've got Rhodian slingers, Eastern slingers, Gorgos skirmishers, which are slingers. And we're basically trying to put them into a fight that they basically can't win. Because in a flat, arcing contest like this, a slinger should get a better trade than the archer. We also have some artillery being fired. Looks like that is Sparta's artillery? Yeah, I think it's got to be Sparta's, because I'm pretty sure mine's dead. Yeah, mine's dead. Still have a bunch of cavalry still left in the city. A lot of Spartan hoplites. Up in the initial area here, we've got the mercenary Cretan archers. They were basically trying to get shots in from the side while the slingers were shooting from the front. Our goal here is, can we slow their attack, right? A lot of times what happens when a sally force like this comes out, a big force like this, look at this. This whole section of the army, a whole portion of the army has had to redirect itself to pay attention to this. Look at this. We got 4 units of Armored Desert Hoplites, multiple units of Sword Masters, a lot of archer power. But that's a huge chunk of forces to just stand there, right? And it's caused a bit of a delay. Now, the attackers are realizing this very quickly. Nicely done by them. They are not, seemingly, are not letting themselves be delayed or distracted by this. They are pushing their forces towards the walls immediately. So that's well done. That's a big mistake people would make, is they let themselves just get distracted. They just stop doing anything. Like a sally out force comes out, it could just be cavalry, and the attackers, they just stop. They just don't do anything. And in the end, they a lot of times at that point waste their time and lose the siege by time because they just didn't do anything. But the attackers in this one don't seem to be letting that happen. Got Spartan youths and thorax swords. Then coming in through the breach, we got Desert Levies. Get some Javies off first. I remember this battle. We did this back in like early December, I think it was. Pretty sure it was back when I first got my computer fixed. I'm pretty sure it's my first Rome 2 battle back from getting this fix. But I'm doing the replay now. Oh, it's got to be at least a month, maybe a month and a half later. And I remember Derry. He's like, "Okay, guys, when we get in this battle, you brought a slinger, right?" Because, he knew that both of us being, Hellenic factions, we can only bring 3 archers, but we both had options of pretty good slingers. And so he's like, bring your one slinger, and you're going to bring your one slinger, you're going to bring it out with me, and we're going to put all of our slingers out here, and we're just going to fuck them up. And I was like, okay, Derry. Derry is, if you've never played with Derry or heard Derry on a stream of my stream or Joe's stream, Derry is a very boisterous fellow. And, man, when he gets a plan in his head, we are committed to it. Uh-oh, here we go. So they are actually getting some pretty good, shots in on our... See, look, they're double-teaming the Spartan Slinger. The Gorgo Slinger getting double-teamed by 2 Nabatean heavies. So that's something we need to be paying attention of, is to make sure that make sure we are getting the double teams, not them. It's like right now, 1, 2, 3 slingers, but they got 1, 2, 3, and a couple of those archers we can't really get to because of the tortoises and the towers. So you can see that's why our slingers are wanting to run forwards, is because we just can't see them. We can't hit them. So now, having to move some more troops up. Got a Spartan Hoplite. Now my Thorax is engaging now a Nabatean Swordsman. Thorax 113 kills. The Swordsman just got into combat. Nabatean Swords are a solid unit, They are not a unit that's probably going to go in and win you the war, but they are a solid infantry unit that has javelins, solid melee stats, so they make a good combination with the Armored Desert Hoplites, because really the only other option that Nabatea has is the Mercenary Axe Warriors, which I kind of like Mercenary Axe Warriors. But like a lot of other units like them, they are a shock unit. They're very, you want to use them fast. You want to charge them, countercharge them, cycle charge them. And you don't want to let them get shot because they have like 40 armor or something like that. So the Nabatean Swordsmen, I believe, are a hair bit cheaper. They might be a little bit more expensive, but they have a little better armor. So their survivability tends to be just a little bit better than the Mercenary Axe Warriors. Now, Mercenary Axe Warriors, kind of like Bloodsworn, if you're able to use those Mercenary Axe Warriors correctly with, cycle charging and such like that, keeping them refreshed, keeping archers off them, Mercenary Axe Warriors can actually do really well. But once again, you need to have a lot of things go right before that can happen. So your Armored Desert Hoplite / Nabatean Sword army is a little bit safer as a Nabatea. You have a higher likelihood of that succeeding. So as you can see, we are basically just trying to put up a fight for this tower, because once we lose this tower, we lose this tower, right? So right now, I think we could still see the tower, maybe not. The tower reaches about to the bottom of this staircase, right? So after losing the tower, we basically will be losing this whole courtyard, because that tower would basically just be getting free shots on us, which we don't like. So after losing that, we will basically have to fall back beyond the staircase. And I usually suggest, so you can see on this one, you can see the blue circle. I suggest holding outside of that circle so that you can hold on to this tower as long as possible. I can't remember how we end up holding it. Obviously, you can see I'm mostly on this side. You can see Kolkas actually pushed forward even further and actually getting some good shots in on the Kimbri Boehm and a Swaby. Swaby is firing back, but I'm pretty sure we've got him outmatched. 1, 2, 3 slingers on. Well, he's got 3 archers, so maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. It looks relatively even at this point. Might be slightly in our favor. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe sorry about that. If maybe Nabatea snuck up an archer to get some extra fire in. Yeah, see, Kolkus is losing a slinger at the same time as Swaby's losing an archer. Heroically, spears have been up here using. Oh, they even. I thought they were. Where's the one that was used? Oh, these are the ones that they use their jabbies. So this is a new one. So these still have plenty of ammunition. I don't like that shot. It is technically still shield side, so it's not as bad as it could be, but it's definitely not great. Definitely not great. So you can see this thorax at 90 men is starting to waver. That archer fire in the back is really banging. Over here, still not anything. And really, what tends to happen up here is, so right now you can see we're holding this. What we will probably see eventually is an archer movement over to the right here that will begin shooting into our flank, forcing us to lose this spot. But as of right now, the archers are pretty well tied down. I mean, like, you have this whole archer fight or slinger range fight going on outside the walls. At the moment, they don't really have the greatest ability of pushing archers over to the other side. So that does benefit us in the way that we are able to keep this right-hand side pretty well tied down, which basically just takes away an avenue of advance for the attackers, at least for now. Spartan hoplites are readjusting. I think I think we're kind of realizing that maybe we're not taking the best fight there with the archers getting us in the side and back. So you can see readjusting the line. All my archers are up here, and actually I've gotten some shots in. Look at that, 11, 4, and 4. So I've actually gotten some kills. I'm not sure what I was shooting, but maybe I was able to get shots off on something that got too close. I'm not sure. Not sure if it was a range fight or what. Ooh, now this is painful. So you can see my thorax sword that's engaged here against the sword masters is getting shot in the sword side now by, looks like it was Cretans. It could have, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Cretans here, which is not good. Yeah, that's painful. We unfortunately don't have the best counter to that. We don't have a great archer position to fight that with, unfortunately. You can see we are continuing to put more pressure. Okay, so the Cav put some pressure and kicked them off for a little while, so that'll buy us a little bit of time. All the Cav had to do was pressure, and it forces the archers to basically run away for a little while. But you could see what I was talking about earlier, that might have just instigated them into pushing their archers over to our other flank, which we so far had been able to avoid them doing. But as of right now, they may consider this to be the safer option. You know, they know that we have cavalry and pressure on this side, but as so far, they don't know of anything on this side, so it might just be the safer option for them. It is the safer option for them. They just don't 100% know that. But you can see we continue to put more pressure. We're continuing to push on this flank. Basically continue to say, hey, 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 look over here, guys, hey, look at us. And it's splitting their attention on two different flanks. Gorgo skirmishers are shooting at, not sure what they're shooting at, but it looks like we are giving this one up. We have a very, very depleted thorax sword and a very depleted Spartan hoplite. So yeah, you can see we're pulling back, and then same thing on the far right, we're pulling back. Mostly because this is a bad position for us here, but they can't get as good of an angle or a shot on us from here, especially as we hold the towers. The towers will continue to shoot their archers. And you can see I have moved my Cretan archers up here and am engaging them. Once again, this holding spot is a much stronger spot for us. Now remember what I was saying, you can see we are holding beyond the blue circle, and because of our outside flanking force here, they can't get up here to put the pressure on us that they would usually want to do. So they're going to have to deal with this before they can come over and flank this force here. Now, it looks to me like they seem to be putting a lot of their pressure onto the right flank. We got Spartan hoplites going up against thorax swords right here on the hilltop. Now getting a counter or a cycle charge, looks like. A sword! Give me a sword! So, looks like I had a depleted thorax come back. Oh, and here's the artillery. All right, that's Macedon, so that's 10 kills. Is Macedon the only artillery? Oh, here we go. So Hillman pushed in, and now we've got Noble Blood Cavalry charging in. I saw something back there, but I'm not sure what it was. Now, the Noble Blood Cav were engaging against... What spear unit was here? There was a spear unit there a moment ago. Night Hunters. Okay, so Night Hunters are a unit that has guerrilla deploy and stalk and things like that. They also have counter cavalry tactics, but they're also really squishy. So, in my opinion, they're a very controversial unit because they sound really, really good, but man, one cavalry charge seems to just blow them off the face of the planet. Now, I'm interested that Sparta is here not using Spartan, or using hoplite formation. I guess it's probably not a terrible idea. He's, continuing to fill the gap. Now we're kind of luring Swordmasters into a bit of a trap, right? We have the Thuros on the left and the Spartan hoplite on the front, and we're trying to lure them deeper in so to basically expose their flanks. You can see we have Paraquois spears here that probably still have ammunition to use. I don't know. It says they have 10 kills, but I would assume they still... Oh, look at this! Oh, no! Scythe chariots were hidden back here in the forest, and a Hillman unit that came back from running away is now in on the Scythe chariots, and I don't think he knows about it. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, man. What are they at? 9 out of 12. But they're not, they have no attack order, so they're not doing anything. So the Scythe chariot is completely and totally helpless. Oh, that's rough. Now we got archer fire. Looks like we're taking a fight with the other Cretans here. Do we have... Looks like just 3-on-3. We also had the archers in the middle here. We got the Nabatean heavies and the Cimbri bowwomen. And there it is, the Scythe chariot. The secret weapon of Nabatea that I guarantee you he was holding on to for late is gone. That is very, very rough. Now the cavalry is starting to engage. We have a lot of Noble Blood Cav and Hippeus Lancers moving in. What do we got? 1 Hippeus Lancer, 2 Hippeus Lancers, and 3 Noble Blood Cavalry. Now, the thing about Swaby is Swaby does not like Cav, okay? Now, so, things like your Swordmasters, they do have shield wall, so that does help. But in an exposed position like this, Swaby is definitely not a happy camper. So we got Armored Desert Hoplites moving over. They do have a bonus 15 versus large. That will help. Okay, now we have a big archer push here. Look at this. But we have all of our archers engaged. We have all 3 Cretans and then 3 Cretans all engaging this. But we do also have the artillery supporting. Artillery is at 53 kills now. You can see Swaby and Nabatea basically, well, mostly Nabatea and Macedon actually, are consolidating their forces around their attack position, right? It basically just makes the cavalry and the sally out have a harder time finding places it can actually get into, right? You know, you're using your own enemy's walls to your advantage. Even though it's the enemy's wall, I can't walk through this, and you know what I mean? You have a bubble that's set right around here, and the walls and everything else are basically just supporting your defense against the sally out. Now, I'm not 100% sure as to why Swaby stayed out here. Looks like he is attempting to get his Swordmasters away. But like that Club Levy, just completely annihilated. Noble Blood Cav, 123 kills. Hippeus Lancers, 106. The General now coming in with a charge. They were in shield wall, that does help, but that's not going to help against the Noble Blood Cavalry from behind. Shield wall is only going to help you one direction. 65 kills on the Giant Ballista. And this is forcing the attackers into a condensed formation, forcing them to push their units into a blobbed formation on the interior, which is not beneficial to them. Got a big blob on the right-hand side. 3 Macedonian units, Militia Hoplites, Thorax Swords going up against Thorax Swords and Spartan Hoplites. We are being backed up by some Thorough Spears, a smaller Thorax that looks like I've cycled here. On the wall. Actually, this might be the unit. I think I switched these units. Yep, you can see this one's still coming off the wall. It's very tired, so I took him off the wall. Cretan archers. Let's see. What do they still have left? Still have 2 Cretans. The Nabatean heavies are really beat up. And the Cimbri bowwomen are really beat up. It looks to me as if we have gained the archer advantage here. I believe we have. Once again, it has been a little bit of time since this battle happened. I don't fully remember the specifics here. Man, the Hippeus Lancers and the Noble Blood Cav doing work out here. Swordmasters, 159 kills. 164 kills. 96 kills, but they are just getting run to ragged, just rags, man. Swordmaster General, basically just kind of protecting the breach here. And you can see the Swordmasters have set themselves up in a bit of a like semi-circle, semi-crescent moon formation. It does help a little bit, but it doesn't fully protect their backside. But at the same time, they also had the we have the Eastern Slingers, who can also just sit here and just take pot shots. The Hippeus Lancers just cycling in and out. Eastern Slingers are split in 2. You got 2 over here and 2 over here. Once again, this one came over here because of that crescent moon formation that Swaby was using. It only protects part of it. You know, those slingers can shoot right over the heads into the back of the ones on the other side. He definitely just wants to continue shifting these Swordmasters slowly, closer and closer and closer. Now on the wall, my Unit 1, I was going to go after it, but they have a Mercenary Thracian Warrior sitting right there. Probably just not a, in the end, probably just waste a unit there. We probably don't want to do that. Cretans for Sparta here, 181 kills, 138 for me, 131, 99. Still have plenty of forces. The bounce power seems to be just a hair bit in our favor, but it is still a very, very close game. They still have a lot of troops left. Really, losing the Swordmasters out here is going to be probably the biggest regret, I bet. Well, biggest regret, unless you're Nabatea and losing the Scythe Chariots, that's pretty big too. The Cav here just doing work. 206, 71, 101, 204 with 2 chevrons. Slingers 183, 147, 121, 95. He still has actually quite a bit of axemen out here, but that's all his forces. He has nothing in the center. So this is all that Colchis has. At this point, we could probably bring our slingers back in. The exterior thing is basically done. Center, we still have Swordmasters. 249 kills. And they're about to get their second chevron, too. 162 on the Thorax Sword. The Armored Desert Hoplite with 48. Spartan Hoplites going toe-to-toe. Once again, we got Swordmasters at 182. Swordmasters are just going to plain and simple win the day there. Mano a mano, the Spartan Hoplite's not going to be able to win that. So on the right, they've based. Sorry, I was just kind of surveying the field here. On the right-hand side, they are just now re-advancing, maybe not.
Defensive positions.
Center, they've kind of slowed up. Looks, to be honest with you, their biggest push right now seems to be on their far right, the defenders' far left. And here comes the exterior forces coming to rejoin the main defense. And we got some artillery firing. That's Colchis. He sees a big clump over here. Wonder, is he getting anything? Oh, now he's aiming. Yeah, he's still aiming over here, but I'm not sure. He's got 7 kills. Peltis have not thrown any of their javelins. Got another Armored Desert Hoplite pushing the stairs. 316 kills on the Swordmasters. What are you shooting at? What am I shooting at? I think I was just wasting ammo on, like, maybe a tiny Nabatean archer or something. Now the Swordmaster is about to break. Yep, there he goes. It's going to leave the flank of the Armored Desert Hoplite exposed. So, it looks like, I think...
Understood.
What was I trying? I thought I was maybe trying to go pin down the Armored Desert Hoplite so that another unit could go hit this one in the back, but maybe not. Hold formation, men! My Cretans are still shooting. I think I'm shooting at the or the light peltis here? I thought maybe the general, but no. You still got the cab back here, even though some of it's beat up. And Colchis bringing his reinforcements, because honestly, there are places where we're looking a little bit thin, like especially over here. This is not perfect. This area here might be our weakest position because we really just don't have the units to shift. I guess I do have a couple of units back here in reserve, but it definitely is going to be nice having a couple of these healthy axe units back. And now Pike going up to the front because, once again, we have dealt with the archers, right? The archers are gone. They're out of the game at this point. So our pikes are in perfect position to make a play because at this point there's nothing they can do about it, right? So we have an Armored Desert Hoplite going to be a pike. What are you going to do? I mean, you could bring units up to jabby me, but I'm just going to move my pike away at that point. But at this point, you have no answer to those pikes right now. So, come at me, bro. What that does is that allows more units flexibility to move to other places, right? Because I can just leave this pike here and not worry about it. I got a thorough spear on one side, a pike on the other. I do have a thorax in support. But because of that, this area, as of right now, I'm not saying it will never be taken or fall or they'll never have an answer to it, but at this point in time, this is something we have locked down. So, look at this. Colchis is able to bring full force over to the right to support this area where we were feeling very, very weak. And what that means is, you know, I do still have a thorax sword here, and I still have my general, and those can be used in full support of the center when needed. Where did my gen go, though? See, oh, these over here. So my thorax hoplite general over here, you know, he does have second wind and battle rhythm, so he can support in that fashion, using the abilities to, you know, keep our guys in the fight. Unfortunately, Derry's axemen are killing more of my men than the enemy. Thanks, Derry. I appreciate it, buddy. Love you. Hearts, hearts. He's going to be like, yeah, but it's fine because we won. We won that fight. So, yeah, it's great. I killed them. Hey, look at this. Heroes of Sparta from Sparta. Now moving. I think he is moving over here, if I remember correctly, from the battle, because this area now becomes our biggest hot spot because we just have the one Spartan hoplite here holding back. Swordmaster, Nabatean sword, Armored Desert Hoplite, another Swordmaster. And we do have some stuff. We got a thorax, we got a Paroquois pikeman that is extremely weak. But we do also have a couple. You can see Colchis ended up splitting his units. He brought a couple axes over here, left a couple axes over here because, you know, when he gave the command for units to come over here, yes, we badly needed it. It was going very poorly for us. But now that has changed, and now this area is the bad part, so he then had to split those forces to support both areas. Now the pike, I pulled back because they were, the thorough spears, I think, were throwing their javelins at me, and I didn't like it. So I did exactly what I said I would do earlier. You come throw javies at me, I'm just gonna walk away and let somebody else take that part for now. And then eventually I'll probably put the pikemen back in. You can see we kind of split into a little bit of a kill box here. Basically, if they pull in, if they attack here, they get attacked from the side. Same thing from the other way. If they come in here, they get attacked from the side. Hero Sparta General coming to the center. Battle has definitely slowed down quite a bit. Pretty sure his Eastern Slingers are out of ammo. Now that Armor Desert Hoplite, somehow, I don't know exactly what happened. It could be, sometimes Hoplite Formation V, Hoplite Formation goes a little wonky. It could be they kind of melded through each other, or maybe one of the two units had a attack order on a unit that was pulling back, which could cause them to phase through each other. It happens. A lot of people like go immediately to just the where you pulling through my unit, cheater. When half the time, and especially in an in-house game, majority of the time, things like that literally just come down to like a misclick. It happens. Now, I'm not saying there are not people out there in the game who do not like spam click through your unit to break through these lines and stuff, but usually that is not a common problem in an in-house game. Swordmaster is disengaged, you can see. The general's still pretty healthy, 139 men out of 160. The center, they honestly are pushing more towards here than they are towards the front. And on the right, we have the Axe v Axe, or Axe versus Thorax. Haha, Axe v Thorax. "56 kills, 44 kills. And now the pike gonna go over here. Although, I don't know if that's a good idea now that I see this. Got that light peltis sitting right here. That could be really painful to those pikes. Thorax gonna engage a Desert Levy on the flank. So you can see we have kind of a crescent moon defense here. We've got the Thoros Spears, then a Spartan Youth slash Warriors of Sparta, and then a Thorax on the far right. Swordmasters on the front are shaken but not stirred. Yes, I know, I make that joke all the time, and I will continue to make it because I think it's funny. Yeah, I don't think this is a great idea. Looking back at this, this is a bad move on my part. I don't know if I just didn't realize the Peltis was there. I'm not sure, but yeah, bit dumb on my part. Don't think that pike's gonna last very long anymore. But we do have a surround on an Armored Desert Hoplite here. Yeah, he's trying to get the hell out of that. Far left, an Armored Desert Hoplite coming to support the Swordmaster General. He's tired, he needs a second wind. Cab moving around. That's the other thing. They've had to delegate 2 units of hoplites and a Thorax to kind of guard their flanks because of all the cav out there. Oh, God, poor pikes. Look at him. Dumb, 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 dumb. And I don't know why I did that. And if anything, what we should be doing, an axe should be in support of this to chase these off. We should have an axe set up right behind this pikeman to run forward and chase off those peltis when they're doing this crap. I'm really not even sure why he got that close to do it.
Cut them down!
Yeah, that hurts a lot, and I hate myself for it.
Ready for orders. Advance and speed! Advance!
Look at the Swordmaster. I'm not sure. I think I don't know what is happening. The Swordmaster going all sorts out of whack here. Could be our own fault. Maybe we were repositioning and that caused his unit to go weird, you know. Yeah, far right. The Pikes somehow alive with 70 men. But now Axemen going toe-to-toe with Royal Peltis. The Royal Peltis will have a heyday in that fight. At least if it's by themselves. Oh, now Thracian Warriors coming in. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, they're going to get a good amount of kills on here, but now we pull the Pikes in, forces the Thracian Warriors off. Pikes are not in Pike formation. Pikes are not in Pike formation. Pikes are not in Pike formation. Oh my god, what are you doing, you dummy? Yeah, me. I'm talking to myself. Armored Desert Hoplite is making some progress. Got a Mercenary Thracian Warrior going that way as well. They're seeing the light. They see a crack. Will they be able to take advantage? God, how stupid. This Pike, I owe this Pike an apology because just dumb moves with it. God, it drives me nuts. So the Pike broke. Cavalry's doing some moving around. We're trying to you know, get as many cycle charges and stuff as we can into these, you know, units over here. Armored Desert Hoplites are doing pretty solid. So are the Axes, 184 kills with 2 chevrons. Mercenary Thracian Warriors charging in. Yeah, this area is actually looking a little bit bad. Not great. So you got an Axeman. We're moving over there. Cav's going to have to try and desperately do this. Mercenary Thracian Warriors are here, though. Remember, Mercenary Thracian Warriors have bonus 20 versus large. It's a hidden stat. So in combat, the Thracian Warriors are going to like this. They are, you know, the base morale is only 45, so they're wavering. Still have a decent chunk of forces left. Armored Desert Hoplite pretty much gone. Now we're going to engage on the center. Here's the Sparta going in. That's a cool screenshot. I love the Corinthian helmets with the transverse crest. Transverse crest is when the crest goes across, and the Corinthian helmet is this helmet right here, where this design on the front of the face. So during these during the basic time of Rome 2, the Corinthian helmet is basically not used anymore. The most common helmet that's used by the Greeks at this point is this one right here. This one right here is the most common one. You also tend to see on their cavalry, where's the Hellenic or the Hippeus Lancers? That one right there. That's another common cavalry helmet. So we have regained the position here. The Axemen from all the way over there did make it over here in time. We were able to slow them down enough. bounce power is pretty heavy in our favor at this point. Here's a Sparta now holding the top of the stairs. That's going to be pretty hard to get rid of. Royal Peltis going in now. Actually getting a free charge there. Basically setting up the kill box again. And here comes the cavalry. They couldn't guard the breaches anymore. The cavalry's in. Mercenary Thracian warriors countercharged. Look at the Mercenary Thracian warriors up to 58 kills now. When we saw them last, they were at 21. There they go. Now they're getting those cav kills. 75 kills now. Uh-oh. Thorax sword can't guard both sides. Light Peltis desperately trying to get out of there.
Double time! Quick march!
But I think you can see that this is pretty much the beginning of the end of this fight. The Royal Peltis general here is basically all... Well, he's not by himself, but he's now about to get double-teamed. Throw spears actually have ammo. Look at that. They're actually got a pretty good angle here. Look at this. Was that their last volley? They are going to charge the Axemen, though.
By your command!
No, I guess they're not. They're just going to stand there. Axemen's going to charge them instead.
Speed! Advance at speed!
But as you can see, that is pretty much it. It's this right here. This is all that's left. So that is going to be a GG, a hard-fought battle, an admirable attack by the attackers here. Well played on both sides, I say. All right, so let's start off here. Dairy Farmer leading the whole game with 2,110 kills as Colchis. Cavalry, almost all of it doing really, really well. 226, 267. Infantry, 190 with 2 chevrons. And then the Slingers just killing it. Myself as Athens with 1,650 kills. Definitely feel I could have done better in this battle. All right, my archers I'm happy with. Slingers, I felt I could have done better. The pikes, God, the pikes. Ugh! That frustrates me so bad. You can see I did have some healthy units left. But yeah, definitely feel I could have done better here. Royal Athenian with 1,795 kills as Sparta. 2 of his archers doing really well. His slingers did well. Look at the heroes of Sparta, 272. And then the Spartan hoplites doing solid. For the attackers, we have Billy Blazes, 1,662 kills as Nabatea. His Armored Desert hoplites honestly performed well. A couple of his Nabatean swords did well too. The Scythe Chariots, Billy, I bet you just, man. I hate it. I hate it. I'm sorry. Axe Minister as Macedon, 1,578 kills. Let's see. Really kind of bore the brunt of the initial assault there. His Thorax did solid. Mercenary Thracians, 97 kills. Archers, man, that hurt. Ouch. Eisen as Swaby leading his team, 1,872 kills. All of his Swordmasters doing extremely well. I just feel like there was a little bit of waste on those Swordmasters outside of the settlement that just literally got charged to death by the cavalry. Those 3 units would have been really, really useful inside the settlement, but it is what it is. Life goes on. An excellent battle, in my opinion. That is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time.